leaving a closing right now. I just left the title company. I have 3 checks here. So one's for $500, $13,000, and one's for $2,500 for 2 deals I just closed. I say that not to brag, but I say that to lead into this video of things that I wish I knew before I started wholesaling real estate. So I made another video kind of similar to this about like what my review is of wholesaling, and then I made another video about talking about why you should wholesale. In this video, I'm going to talk about things I wish I knew before I started, but more in depth on some tips, things I wish I knew about, and it's going to be another informal video. Obviously, I'm just parked here. I hope you guys enjoy as always. Appreciate all the support. Almost at 3,000 subscribers, which is amazing. We'll keep growing. I'm going to keep posting. First thing I wish I knew is you can have a job or you can be going to school while wholesaling. I think there's like a perception where it's like, oh, you have to go full time, you have to jump into it. Or like the entrepreneurial like hustler on TikTok is like, no, you have to jump right into it. Do you not trust yourself? Like jump into it. And it's like, bro, like relax. You can work a full-time job while wholesaling. You can go to school while wholesaling. I knew about wholesaling when I was in college. I just didn't think that I could do it. Looking back, man, if I started wholesaling in college, who knows where I would be now? I would be in a completely different situation. I'm happy with how my path laid out, but I could have started years earlier. So if you're in high school, if you're in college, if you're working a W-2 job, whatever your situation is, you can't wholesale. So no, you're gonna have to put more into it than somebody that's full-time. Because of COVID, I was unemployed. I moved back in with my mom. I started full-time just because I was a bum and didn't have anything else to do. But you don't have to. But just know that if you are wholesaling, if you want to get into this business and you are working a job or going to school, you're going to have to maybe be making phone calls while your friends are going to happy hour, your friends are going out, or you're invited to like dinner, or maybe you have family dinners and you have to make some calls to hit your quota. You put in the work. One thing that I heard on a podcast a long time ago, and I've never personally done because I've been full-time, but I think is genius, is let's say you're in East Coast and you work until 6 and then you're like, okay, I have like an hour to call. Well, what you could do is you could be in East Coast and you could wholesale in the West Coast. You just bought 3 hours of potential call time. It's 6 p.m. for you, but it's 3 p.m. there. So you could call from, 3 more hours until 7 or 8, 4 more hours. There's always a way to do it. I don't even know what the time zone is in Hawaii. Maybe you could do some crazy stuff there. If there's a will, there's a way. If you are busy with work and school and stuff, but you have money, you can get a virtual assistant to cold call for you. So all you're doing is talking to qualified leads. It's a really good way to avoid that initial hustle of cold calling to get deals and all this stuff. Get a virtual assistant to work for you, let them do it, pay them, $5, $6, $7 an hour, whatever you agree on, and have them do it for you. Or hire a virtual assistant company. There's so many great ones out there. Hire that company and have them bring you leads, and then you're only talking to qualified leads. My second tip is consistency will always come through. And what I mean by that, and I spoke about this before, when you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business, it's a roller coaster, right? You'll have these high months, you'll have these low months. I was actually looking through my profit loss of 2022. I was looking through, and it's crazy seeing like the months that like I went through. Like I think I had like a $40,000 month and I had like a $7,000 month. So it happens. Sometimes a deal doesn't close, it leaks into the other months. Sometimes deals fall through. I had a deal recently fall through. I was supposed to make $25,000 on it. The seller had a judgment on the house, and the person with the judgment, they were clouding the title, and the buyer was ready, everybody was ready, but they wouldn't remove the judgment. So we couldn't do the transaction because the judgment was on the house. It sucks. It wasn't fun to have that conversation with the buyer, let him know that he's not buying it, but it is what it is. Consistency will always come through, and consistent action will always come through. So if you're having down months, stay consistent. It will get better. It's one phone call, one conversation, one referral from getting that next lead. My third tip is people are mean. They just are. So it can be anybody from the seller cursing you out when you call to even buyers. I've had buyers curse me out too. I'm like, yo, you interested in this deal? They're like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Follow up with them next day. Yo, you interested? Thinking about it. Yo, next day. Yo, you interested? They're like, yo, you need to leave me the F alone. Like, bro, you keep texting me. Like, I haven't told you. I'm like, yo, like, I'm just trying to make money. I'm just trying to sell you the deal. If you don't want it, like, just tell me. Buyers are dicks. Sellers are dicks. Wholesalers are dicks, man. There's some mean wholesalers out there. Just won't tell you information. They'll hold things back. Just greedy people. I've seen it way too many times. I've been taken advantage of before, and like it's just a mental note. You do that, like, we're not gonna do business. people ask me about you, like I know your character. Especially if realtors find out you're a wholesaler. There's some mean realtors trying to do more creative finance deals, and man, when you pitch creative terms to a realtor, they get upset sometimes just because they're not aware of how it works. So there's just mean people. You gotta have thick skin, get through it. Everybody deals with it. You know, every single guru you see online posting, you know, me, everybody you know that does deals, they deal with these mean people. They just don't talk about it. So it's normal. It's part of the process. There's just rude people out there. I got lunch with this guy probably a few months ago, and he DM'd me to get lunch, and you know, he does a lot of real estate in Miami, and we got lunch, and man, he was a dickhead, and like it was like the worst lunch I've ever had. So it happens, you know. He was just mean. I'm like, bro, why are you like doing that, you know? So people are mean. Thick skin, get through it. It's normal. Fourth tip is a couple thousand is enough to get started. Also, look at the birds. I started with a couple $1,000. I didn't have a lot of money. I was basically broke because I was paying rent when I was unemployed because of COVID, and that's when I moved back in with my mother. So I didn't have money. So you don't need money. If there's a will, there's a way, and you can do deals for free. Agent outreach, you can do deals for free. Calling for sale by owners for free. There's a lot of ways that you can get free leads and stuff. You don't have to be getting a VA day one. You don't have to be doing all this stuff. Or you can figure out ways to JV with people and work on other people's leads and other people's deals. So, I mean, like with me, like I was just really cheap at the beginning. Like I was cheap with leads. I was cheap with all the softwares and stuff. And I closed my first deal, and I used that to reinvest. So you can do it. You don't need a crazy amount of money. That's the good part about this business. Number 5 is don't stay a wholesaler. I've spoken about this before, but man, people stay wholesalers way too long. Like wholesaling is cool, but like fuck wholesaling at the same time, you know, like buy shit. Like you want to buy stuff. Sorry if I'm cursing, but like you want to buy rentals, you want to buy Airbnbs. That's the goal. We're wholesaling to get money. We're wholesaling to find deals, but we want to buy stuff. So buy deals, buy investment properties. Don't stay a wholesaler. You can wholesale year or 2 years. Like you don't need to be a full-time wholesaler. Like unless you really want to do that, unless you really want to be the biggest wholesaler in your city or just have a huge operation. I think people that stay wholesalers are crazy. I'm friends with a lot of them, and I'll say it to their face. I'm like, bro, I don't know why you do it, but they like it. Not for me. That's my advice. Next tip, there's always a solution or somebody to help. Starting in business, you're lonely, you're on your own island. Always a solution to the deal. Going back to the Tamarack one I just spoke about, unfortunately the solution was to cancel it. Like I couldn't do anything. You know, I tried my best. There's always a solution. If there's an issue, there's a solution. And there's always somebody out there to help you. I know it's hard to find that person, but they're out there. They want to make money. They want to provide, they want to help you out. So join Facebook groups, join all these communities, say, hey, can somebody JV this with me? I'll split it 50-50. Whatever you got to do to provide value to people, there's a way to do it. I promise you, there is a way to do it. Sometimes you got to be creative. Sometimes you got to think outside the box. Sometimes you got to network more, but there's a way to get over any hurdle. And that leads into my next point. Join a community. I don't think I did this quick enough when I first got started. Join a community of people that are like-minded that you can network with. You got Zoom calls with or phone calls with, or just shoot the shit with over the phone. Join a community, talk to people. Don't stay on this lonely path. You know, there's a lot of people out there that have the same mindset as you. Network with them, do more stuff. There's so many like amazing Discord communities out there of just like new wholesalers, and a lot of them are free too. So don't feel obligated to stay in your little hole. Like network out. You know, talk to people. Next tip is wholesaling will change you. It will. I mean, look at me. I have a whole YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok about wholesaling and real estate, you know, like 3 years ago, just a normal Instagram. Now it's like a real estate Instagram. So would I have thought that like my whole personality would be about like real estate now? It's not, but it is at the same time because it's what I'm passionate about, and it makes sense. Like I love this business, but it will change you, especially if you stay consistent with it and you start doing deals and you start becoming passionate about it. Maybe you'll be where I am in a year. Maybe you are where I am right now. Don't be afraid of that change. It's gonna happen, but it's all for the best. And my last tip is gonna be 2 things. I'm just gonna include 2 tips in one, but it's don't compare yourself to other people. Like comparison is awful. It sucks. Don't do it. And then the second one is don't think it's get rich quick. Don't have this instant gratification of, hey, I started a week ago, where's my deal? I started blank ago, where's my deal? Like, bro, you gotta stay consistent with it, you know? Like, just keep working. I promise you'll get it. But like, keep working. It took me 3 months. Maybe it'll take you shorter. Maybe it'll take you longer. Work at it. I think the longer it takes you to get the deal, the more grateful you are and the more hustle you have during this process. So the more successful you'll be, right? The person that gets the deal the first week didn't get that hustle gene over the 3-month span that you're going to be getting. Time goes fast. Those are the tips I have. Gotta cash these checks and gotta get home because I have some calls to make. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little informal. Like, subscribe, comment if you want more videos like this.